Welcome everybody to the Bush and Mee Show. I am your host, Jermon Bushrod, aka Bush, and this is my co-host here to my left.
That would make me Ryan Meehan, aka Me. We're here at M&T Bank Stadium, filming episode number 2 of the Bush and Mee Show. A lot has changed since the last time we've been together, Jermon.
It has. But I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna get one thing just out there right now. It is hot out here, and I guess we didn't follow some rules and regulations, and we could not have a tent out here.
Correct.
But that's okay, because we're gonna make it work. I'm sitting down now, so hopefully I stop sweating.
We're gonna make it work. I don't think he's gonna stop sweating, but we're gonna get through it.
No, but at least I just don't want to sweat as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Apologize for the children at home.
Yeah. So why don't you give us a little update since our last show?
Okay. So last show, actually 2 weeks ago from today, a few injuries at quarterback. One of your dear friends, Mr. Drew Brees.
Yeah, that's a big loss for the Who Dat Nation, man. But the good thing is he's only out 4 to 6 weeks. Hopefully it doesn't take any longer than that. But you got to feel good about Teddy Bridgewater and what he's been able to do, especially going into Seattle. That has to. The team has to feel good that they can rally around him.
That's one of the hardest places to play, as you would know.
Yeah, it would. It's they can get a little loud there, but them boys in New Orleans, man, they came out there and they found a way to go and get the W. That's just what the Saints do.
Well, that's going to be later in our show. We're going to have our game of the week. That's going to be the Saints hosting the Cowboys. That's going to be our game of the week, and stay tuned. We'll have picks for that later. We'll let you know. Is Teddy ready again for 2 in a row?
I think he is, but we're going to see.
Don't let the people know yet. We'll tell you later. Cam Newton went down, Roethlisberger went down. Both are gone for a significant amount of time, but this gives an opportunity for some younger guys to step up.
Yeah, I mean, look, you get an opportunity in this league, and it's your time to shine. Sometimes, you get stuck into an unfortunate situation where your starting quarterback does go down, but it's an opportunity for these young guys to go out here and show their worth, see what they can do, and see how they can contribute and help their team out. So, I know it can be kind of tough losing your starting guy, but it's time for them to shine.
That's when the next guy steps up, and that's why we're sitting here today. 2009, somebody went down, and my man right here stepped up.
Actually on my birthday.
Super Bowl champion.
Ain't that wild? Yeah, on my birthday, my good friend Jamal Brown, I believe he went down, and I was thrust into the position, and I really just tried never to look back.
That's awesome. That's why we're here today. It hurts me to say this, but how bad are the Dolphins? I know it hurts you more, but
it does not feel good. I have some good friends over there, and it's going to be a tough year. It was a tough first 3 weeks for them. I don't see this Sunday. I don't see this game today against the Chargers. I don't see that game getting any. I don't see it getting any better for them, especially not this week.
It's going to be tough. Here's some stats for you out there. Their point differential is minus 114. Yes, I did not mistake that. 114. To give you an idea of how bad that is, the New York Jets are the next lowest at minus 37.
Wow. It's
that's a large margin.
They got to turn it around. Right?
It can only get better from here. How about this one? The Buffalo Bills are 3-0.
I did not see that coming.
They're going to take on the Patriots today and battle for first place in the AFC East.
Do you think we might have an upset on our hands?
So we're going to give some picks later on upsets, and maybe somebody could be leaning that way. Okay. I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm excited about this one, but stay tuned for that. Steelers are 0-3. Kind of a surprise there.
Yeah, I didn't see that happening, especially that's just not the Pittsburgh Steelers mantra. That's not really what they don't start like that. And it's I don't know how much better it's going to get because, their head leader is gone in Ben Roethlisberger, but there's a couple other 0-3 teams. The Broncos.
Right, Flacco out there. That's kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of known for their defense, and they're not really getting the job done right now. And the Redskins are 0-3.
Your favorite team growing up.
That was my hometown team, but there's just a lot of question marks behind those guys right now. They need to find a way to get it turned around. But you got 16 weeks, you got 16 games to do it, so they have some things that they need to do. What else is going on?
So, last time we were together, Antonio Brown was making his first start as a New England Patriot.
He had some success out there in South Florida, too.
He did, but he was playing the Dolphins.
But where is he now?
He is at home.
At the crib.
Chilling.
He's at the crib, and it's just an unfortunate situation.
It is. Don't want to get too much into it because, a lot of it's been out there in the media, but...
Yeah, because he's definitely not holding back, is he?
He's not holding back.
He's not holding back at all.
He's all over Twitter. One day he never wants to play again. The next day he wants to play.
Now the league needs him. I think he needs the league. He left a lot of money on the table, too. If we're going to bring up some finances, he left a lot of money on the table.
Very true. You wouldn't see me doing that. I would be acting straight.
Hey, man, I would... the NFL, man, it's an opportunity for you to go out here and try to live your best life. Work hard, and I'm not going to sit here and piss an opportunity away.
Of course not.
Especially when I had... how much was he supposed to be getting from the Raiders?
I believe it was $29 million he left on the table, and then he had a chance to make more than that with New England, but they back-ended it for the second year. They were smart. Smart organization.
That's why they've won 6 championships in the last 18 years. It's kind of sickening.
I agree. I don't love them, but I respect what they do.
Yeah, you don't have to love them, but you definitely got to respect them.
Correct. Most surprisingly, Bush and me are both 3-0 in our fantasy league.
Yeah.
We wheeled this guy in. He didn't even want to do it, and now he's 3-0, and he drafted all his friends.
They wheeled me in, and I fought. I fought like I was in the ocean. I didn't want to get in the boat. But you know what I did?
He's 3-0.
I am 3-0. I got a good squad right now. Actually, we're here at M&T Bank Stadium, and I think my starting running back is Mr. Mark Ingram.
Marky Mark.
So I think he's going to get himself a couple touchdowns today and definitely get me the points that I need.
Well, that'll lead us into biggest surprise. What's your biggest surprise so far this year? Now, Mark Ingram is 5th in the league in rushing right now.
That's not a surprise to me.
257 yards.
That's not a surprise.
New team. It was kind of, you weren't expecting it. Maybe you were expecting it because it's one of your really good friends.
That's my dude, though. And I know that he wanted to have an opportunity to be the workhorse, and I think he is getting that opportunity here. Obviously, he is because he is the 5th leading rusher in the NFL in the first 3 weeks with 257 yards. So I don't think that's really a big surprise. There's a couple other things that are very surprising to me, like the Bills being 3-0.
That is very surprising.
Josh Allen, I'm sorry.
Josh Allen, yeah. I like him as a quarterback. I won't lie to you because he can throw the ball pretty well, and if he gets jammed up in a tight situation, he's going to use his feet and he's going to get up out of there. I like that. I like that about him, and he's fast, and, let's see if the Bills can upset somebody today.
Pull it off today? Stay tuned later for our upset picks. Could be on there. Ooh. Moving up the chain, Zeke also has 289 yards. He's right above Ingram on there, but he held out. He didn't even practice all preseason.
Yeah, he didn't practice all preseason. The good thing about that is, he did not have to deal with OTAs or minicamp. So he's probably fresh, That's some reps that he didn't need to take. And he was out in Cabo training. And look what he's able to come out here and do. But I won't lie, he's definitely running behind a really good offensive line. So, he has, 289 yards after 3 games? Behind that offensive line, I could probably get you at least 50, 60 yards a game. What you think?
Don't lie to the people.
Trust
is the biggest thing in a relationship.
Unbelievable.
I'll give you about 28 yards.
28, 29? I'm cool with all that. Hey, look, I can read a power now. Inside out.
Yes, you could. Yeah. You can block better, though.
Yeah, yes.
Moving up the chain, one more. Dalvin Cook leads all running backs with 375 yards.
Is that your biggest
games?
Is that your biggest surprise?
That's surprising to me. I might have to go with that one. You know what? Because if the beginning of the season, if you gave me 5 choices of running backs that would be leading the league, he wouldn't. Shoot, if you gave me 10, he might not be in there.
I understand that. I can see where you're coming from, but look, he was a first-round pick out of Florida State, correct?
He was.
He was very electrifying in Florida State.
He was.
He was a great talent. I just think he needed his opportunity. He was banged up, I guess, his first couple years, and he really, if you're a running back, you can't hit that field healthy like you want to. That can be pretty tough on you, but you know what? I think he's come back. He has a different mindset now. He's able to run the ball and play in multiple games in a row, and look what he's been able to do. 375 yards. That's
3 games.
That's great. Hopefully he can continue to do that.
Now, the other surprise to me, I don't know, a lot of people thought he'd be good, but was more of a rusher, not really a passer. Lamar Jackson, we're here at the Ravens game. Let's talk about him a little bit. 5th highest rated passer so far this season, behind Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, and Mr. Thomas Brady.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I bet you Lamar Jackson used a lot of the things that people were saying out here in the media. about him not being able to throw, and I bet you that just lit a fire up underneath him, and I bet you he worked on that all offseason. And look what he did against the Dolphins week 1, tore him up. He's continued to just light the field up. Even though they did lose in Kansas City, he still played well. And I see him playing well again today against the Browns. I think he's going to keep it up. You know, you got to like what you see out of him. And I think they're balanced, you know. For a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, you have to go into the game and be as balanced as possible. You don't want to be one-dimensional. I don't know if he is, I don't know if he can throw the ball 40, 50 times a game. But I bet you if you keep handing it off to your running backs and making sure you're getting everybody involved and just keep the defense guessing, you know, that right there would just help Lamar Jackson in the future in every single game that they play.
I agree. And another thing I noticed was he keeps the plays alive that Flacco probably would have went down or ate. You know, he can scramble, his scramble ability. If that's a word, I'm going to make it one. Scramblability. Scramblability.
Is it in the dictionary? Did you just make up a word?
Hashtag scramblability.
Exactly.
And twice he was almost sacked and just kind of threw it up and gave his team a chance. And they were able to convert and make plays and keep the drives alive. And I like that about him. Like you said, throw in Mark Ingram, Ingy, who I had a dance-off with. Mark, we need to rematch that one. Dance-off number 2. I say I won. Some other people say I didn't. I'm still waiting for the votes.
Well, as long as you got the confidence in yourself, that's all that matters.
I got it.
But you know what, man? I like Lamar Jackson. I love what he's doing for the Baltimore Ravens right now. You know, like you said, he can make plays on his feet, but he's making a lot of plays through the air right now.
Yes. So that's kind of what's been going on since the last time we saw you guys. Just to give you a little bit about why we're here, it's kind of same thing as Miami. Visualize and Rise Foundation. There's a golf outing every year with a football camp tied into it to raise money for children, for book scholarships, secondary education, to, you know, help change people's lives. And there was another event auctioned off, which you're looking at behind us.
Yeah, you can see the people walking here in the back. That's why we're here. It's another Visualize and Rise Foundation tailgate event. I mean, it's awesome, man. We have people who are, you know, bidding on live auctions to come out here and experience a tailgate with us. But
we're
at the end of the day, yeah, we are. Well, we're tons of fun.
That's a good joke. He laughs at all of them. So
yeah, I do laugh at all of them. But you know, we're here for a good reason. You know, we're here having a good time. But there are some lives that are being changed because of these people here today. And we have so many great people that are out here to support. They're cooking, they're serving, they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're doing everything that's needed to be done, all for one vision. So it's a beautiful thing that we have going on right here today.
Led by your parents, Mr. Jerry Bushrod, Miss Brenda Bushrod, great people. They instilled in you the thing that, you know, I grew to love at Towson, even though we have a love-hate relationship.
But you know what? Look, you can sit here and you can go to visualizeandrise.org. The website will be on this screen. And for you guys listening, it's www.visualizeandrise.org. Please come check us out. We're trying to do some great things in our communities. Check us out and just thank you for, listening.
Thank you, guys. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. We're going to have a small company here based in Baltimore, family-owned. Stay tuned to check it out. We're back here on the Bush and Mee Show, still at M&T Bank Stadium, and it's still hot.
Extremely hot.
Speaking of hot, things that are on fire, we have Tessemaes CGO, Mr. Brian Vetter. Brian, we know you from college. We've been to a lot of parties at your house.
What college is that again?
Towson.
Two Tigers.
T-U. Yeah. So, Brian, tell us what this is all about with your family-owned business, how it started.
So 25 years ago, my mom decided she wanted my brothers and I to eat healthier. So she went to a health spa in Tecate, Mexico to learn how to make scratch recipes. And over a 10-year period, we ended up creating the formula, which is now the #1 selling organic lighted dressing in America.
And Maryland-based, too.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Now tell us, what stores are you guys in? Where can we buy it?
So, unbelievably enough, we're in 13,000 stores now.
13,000. I remember when we first talked, like you were like up and down the East Coast. Now you're all over the place.
Yep, so we're in every major retailer in America. We're on Amazon, we're on Tessemaes.com. So we're going to be international here pretty soon. So we're really excited about it.
Tessemaes.com, check it out after you go to the Bush and Mee Show at Bush and Mee Show.
Yeah, you can always plug it. Plug it as much as you can.
That's a plug.
We plug in Bush and Mee just like we plug in Tessemaes. I rock with Tessemaes because, I am retired and I am on this weight loss journey. So on my salads, he doesn't have my favorite up here. Actually, this is my second favorite, the lemon garlic. But that green goddess is green goddess.
Yeah.
Fire! I'm telling you.
General, they use it all the time. So if you want to look like this is what you eat. Big and sexy. So what'd you bring us today?
So these are all of our new products. So for the past 10 years, we've been in the refrigerated department, and now these are all shelf-stable products. So ranch mayonnaise, habanero mayonnaise, which is amazing, Mom's Original Lemon Garlic, balsamic. What I'm really excited about is Diggies. So my nickname is Diggy for my nieces and nephews. So they made me a sweet and spicy barbecue, because everybody that works with me says I'm sweet and spicy, and they're just trying to figure out, in what order that is. So.
I dig it. I dig it.
I like, the barbecue sauce, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Organic barbecue sauce. I love that.
And they're all sweetened with date puree, so no refined sugar, so all the diabetic community can get involved, which is super important.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we just want really delicious food that's also good for you. So
you're not leaving anybody out, man. That's what I love about it. That's what I love about it.
Jermon, what's your favorite?
My favorite one? I told you. When I first heard of Tessemaes, this lemon garlic was my number one. And then once I got a hold of that green goddess, I just hit him up the other day. I asked you to come on the show, but I was like, look, I need a case. Send to me, please, because I'm running low.
You come on the show, but while I'm really hitting you up.
But now,
Brian, what's your favorite?
What's your favorite?
My favorite right now is the avocado ranch.
Dang, that's good too.
Yeah, avocado ranch is amazing. So got to get those healthy fats in your body.
Yes. Hey, I love it,
Move
man.
over, lemon garlic.
Yeah.
I got a new favorite.
I got a new favorite.
That's right.
But no,
Awesome.
And you are based in Maryland, went to school in Maryland, from Annapolis, Maryland?
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, we're here at M&T Bank Stadium, which is in Maryland. We got my guy here whose company is in Maryland. He went to school in Maryland. He's from
Maryland.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's just keep. Look, this is love here. I want to just say thank you, Mr. Vetter, for coming on out here, taking some time out of your day to come and eat some of this good food that we have behind us here, for bringing your great product out here, and TU Connection, TU Strong, man. We got to stick together.
Got to stick together.
For sure.
Tessemaes.com. Check them out. Thank you for coming up. We'll be back after this.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to the Bush and Mee Show. This segment of the show, we came and we had to pull a couple of fans here. And since we are here at M&T Bank Stadium, where the Ravens are taking on the Browns, we had to go over here to a tailgate that's pretty much right beside us and find us a good old-fashioned Ravens fan. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Can't wait to tell you about how our season's going to go.
Okay, what's your name first off?
My name's Parker Yablon.
There you go.
Baltimore guy, born and raised, live in D.C. now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with
There you
that.
go. Can you spell your last name for it?
Yablon.
There you go.
Nice and simple.
Give your handle out there for the Instagram follow.
Fair enough. What's up?
What's your Instagram handle?
That's just Parker Yablon. Nice and simple.
There you go.
At Parker
There you
Yablon.
go.
Yeah, man.
Now, what do you foresee happening today? You have a Ray Lewis jersey on for the people that can't see you.
You have to be. Let me
Long-time
put it out
Ravens fan,
there.
I would assume.
Longtime Ravens fan. Like I said, born and raised.
You have to be a little bit worried about the Cleveland Browns and what they have been able to do this year.
The funny thing is I'm never worried about the Cleveland Browns until they show up and then they play a football game with us and then they make the playoffs. Like I said, I live with a guy who's a Cleveland Browns fan.
So
talking shit before,
So you live with a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yes.
That
By
has
choice?
like you are just killing the trash talk battles in the house, I'm assuming.
It is kind of by choice, but it's good because I get to talk a lot of shit to him. So,
There you go.
I'm not mad at
You know the
that.
best thing to ever come out of Cleveland?
tell me about it.
The Baltimore Ravens, huh?
Okay, fair enough.
That's a little
I like that.
That's a little history lesson for you kids out there.
There you go. What do you see happening today? Give us a score prediction.
All right, fair enough.
If you know a little bit about football, you look kind of muscular. What do you got?
All right, I think Lamar Jackson is going to run about 50 yards. He's going to probably throw about 250. Our defense is going to hold up strong today. Baker's not going to have enough time in the pocket to throw down the field. I see a low-scoring game. It's AFC North. You know what it is. 23-17. Close game, I think.
I think it's going to be tough for the Cleveland Browns offensive line to have the success.
I do
that
like
they
the
want.
Ravens. I'm not going to say the Browns are going to win.
Okay.
True that.
Close game, low scoring.
Defensive football, man.
Interdivision rivalry battle. You heard it here. Let's get, is your buddy here?
Yeah, I think your roommate is here.
He's going to be talking the exact opposite of me. He's going to be like, Cleveland Browns in Super Bowl.
That's okay. Hey, that's been the talk. Hey, well, look,
Hey,
first
Zach.
and foremost, hey, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
And
Thank you,
hey,
man.
you are on the Bush and Mee Show, so make sure you follow us on all
Bush
social
and Mee
media
Show.
platforms.
Better follow it.
It's nice to meet you.
There you go.
All right, brother.
Don't say
Let's
too
get
much
you-
bad stuff about the Ravens.
No,
Get your
no.
roommate in here.
He's
He's walking in with a Landry Browns jersey on.
Browns.
New swag, new swag.
Hey,
what's-
been saying that to me.
What's your name, brother?
My name's Zach. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh,
Live
Cleveland.
in D.C. now, though.
Okay.
I'll tell you the same thing I told your roommate. You know the best thing to come out of Cleveland?
What's that?
The Baltimore Ravens.
That's true. Other than Kid Cudi.
History.
Other than you then, right?
Yeah, I guess
There you
so.
go.
So you've been a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan.
Lifelong, those Browns, Indians, Cavs, man.
Yeah.
Been through it all.
So you definitely had to weather quite a storm. Couple,
Yeah.
you've been on the wrong in the undefeated seasons, 0-16s, and a couple one-win seasons.
Those teams had fight, though.
They did.
Those
I
teams
won't
were
lie
in
to
a
you.
lot of games.
I played against some of those. I played against some of those teams. You know, it's not like you're just going to go out there and just roll over them. So I get it. So I'm hoping that Cleveland does. It'll be a good story if they do have some success. But let me know your thoughts on the game. What do you think's going to happen today?
On this game, I mean, this season, I've been through it all, man. I've been through Colt McCoy. I've been through Charlie Fry. I've been through.
There's a long
Brandon
list. We don't have
Weeden.
enough time on the show.
I've been through Johnny Manziel. Like, this team has the
get
most
it.
talent we've had.
Yeah.
Like,
Ever.
granted, they haven't lived up to expectations so far, but they're learning on the fly. Like, I'm confident. I don't think we're gonna go 11-5 like people are saying. I think 9-7 is good enough to make the playoffs.
As long as you find your way
I'm
in.
expecting me to come out with the win today. This is a must-win. We can't go down 1-3 and go to San Francisco next week. This is a must-win. This is a big game.
Josh Winnie says, give us a score prediction.
I think we go 28-24 Cleveland.
Ooh.
I like it.
I think
Cleveland with the upset.
we're not gonna shut down Lamar. You have to score more than him.
Okay.
I think we got the talent enough on defense, and Baker's gonna find his spot. Freddie's gonna call some plays. I think we're gonna be in it.
There you have it.
I'm
Your
confident.
pick from the mistake on the lake. Isn't that what they call it?
That's what they used to call him.
That's what they should still call it.
I don't know.
Well, they got some time to turn it around. Hey, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you for
thanks
coming
for
on,
having
man.
Make sure you follow at the Bush and Mee Show on all
Bush and Mee
social
Show.
media platforms.
All of it.
I will, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
Thanks
brother.
for having us.
Appreciate you
Good to
again.
meet you.
Thanks, man. And we'll be right back after this.
Yes.
We're back here on the Bush and Mee Show at M&T Bank Stadium. Have our special guest for the day, Mr. Rich Rosa, Jermon's agent, advisor, and friend. Played at Penn State 89 to 91, is that correct?
That's correct.
22 years in the business after that. Tell us a little bit about when you started recruiting Jermon as a young Towson graduate and how he grew from there.
Very interesting story in that Gordy Combs, who obviously coached you guys when you were at TU, had recruited me out of high school, the powerhouse St. Joe's High School in Hamilton,
Shout
New
out,
Jersey.
shout out.
Come on. And Gordy had become a good friend when I moved to Baltimore and gave me a ring and said, hey, you got to come check out this kid we have. He's a left tackle, he's an athlete, and I think he's got some promise to make it to the next level. So sure enough, I went to a game, met Jerry and Brenda, actually met Jermon after the game,
Yep.
and watched him progress from his junior year to his senior year. And it was amazing how, he was kind of a guy that fell through the cracks, I felt, coming out of high school, and I think you would attest to that, Jermon.
Yeah.
Stayed true to his roots when he committed to Towson and went there. And, as fate would have itself, he came out after his senior year and was not invited to the combine. I don't know if too many people out there know that.
No. I wasn't invited to the combine, which upset me, but it motivated me.
Sure.
Created
sure.
a chip on your shoulder?
Straight up.
A little bit of a chip. Which was really cool about it was, for us,
You had to go to work.
we had to go to work. So
And who
literally-
were you with at the time?
So Eddie Johnson and Tony Agnew were my partners for years, and we worked together. And we put a really good team around Jermon. And he basically went on, 16 or 17 visits?
Yeah, it was 12 visits. It was 10 workouts because I didn't go to the combine. So I guess, you had 20 in between 20 scouts and coaches there at the pro day, which was a big deal to me because I've never seen any that kind of turnout at Towson University.
It was amazing turnout. And I think one of the funniest stories that came out of that workout was so we went to lunch. Oh yeah, we went to lunch at the old Padonia Station. You remember the place over in Chicago? And we took the current offensive line coach from the Eagles, Juan Castillo, to lunch. Sorry, Juan, I'm going to tell this story. And we're sitting at lunch, and he's like, I like that Bush Rod. He's like, I think he'd be a great free agent. And I'm looking at him and going, did you see how many teams were at this workout today? I was like, there's no way he's going to be a free agent.
We're trying to get drafted, baby.
Right. So to this day, whenever I run into Juan, I'm like, yeah, man, that Bush Rod, he's been a heck of a free agent, isn't he?
That's funny.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
So Jermon was drafted in the 5th round?
Fourth round.
4th round.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry.
Are we friends? Are we friends? Are we friends?
Tell you,
Jermon was drafted in the 4th round with a 3-year contract. Is that correct? To start?
Yes.
At what point did you know? Was there a significant play? Was there a couple of plays that you knew he was going to make it more than one contract in this league?
So I'll tell you, I think it was Jermon's second year, and he was having some frustration with the situation in New Orleans. And I remember us having a distinct conversation about him having to go to Coach Cromer at the time, was his O-line coach. He's a really good coach and a good guy. And Jermon went into him, and correct me if I'm wrong, is what do I got to do to get on the field? At the time, he was playing behind a veteran player who's a
Pro Bowl player. Jamal Brown.
Right, Jamal Brown. And Jamal was kind of dinged up and missed practice. The guy had a great career. He was a hell of a player. And Coach Cromer told Jermon, you just keep doing what you're doing, your time's going to come. And the one thing I can always say about Jermon was he was a worker. He was a true pro through his entire career, which meant he came to work on time, stayed late, did all the little things to get to where he got to during his career. So I think that was a defining moment in his career, being able to just wrap his hands around, okay, is there a plan for me, and what's that progression? And then he got that plan and he executed. So I knew that next year when he started at left tackle, and then they went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Kind of knew once he got those Super Bowl, those starts under his belt, as we call them, pelts, he started to build his portfolio to get himself to get to that next contract situation, which was not an easy thing.
But then you had the lockout and all that stuff, right?
Well, what happened to him was, the Saints, because he had only started for a year and a half, a whole year, basically. And they didn't want to commit to a 4 or 5 year long-term contract.
Oh, yeah. So you're talking after 2009, 2010 season.
Right.
So I started for 2 straight years.
Right, 2 straight
And then I
years.
was finally a free agent.
Right.
And, they weren't trying to break me off like I wanted. So they only wanted to go a 2-year deal.
Right. So we did a 2-year deal. In fact, he was on his way to Minnesota.
Yeah, I was 1 foot.
Leslie Frazier,
I don't know if I told you this, Rich,
You
but
told me.
you were doing your negotiating on your side, and I was on the phone with Chrome, and I told him because we were pretty much 2 feet into Minnesota, and I was like, Chrome, look, I'm going to Minnesota. I appreciate everything you did for me, but it's like I got to go. And he was like, I'm not gonna say what kind of language he used. He was like, beat that. Like, I'm gonna call Mickey, and we're gonna get it done. And then they found a way to, drive that number up, and I was happy.
And that's how it happened.
It is what it is. But that year I was able to, kind of get into a couple Pro Bowls, and I think that kind of did help my situation when it did come for my big free agent break.
The 2-year deal, if I remember, was kind of back end loaded, right? So it was another 1 year.
Actually, it was fully guaranteed.
It was fully guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay.
So look, all these guys fighting for these fully guaranteed contracts. I had one back in 11. I mean, it wasn't what they was. What
And
they
that was
was
really,
doing.
and that was really, we called it it was like a stopgap deal. So it was a 2-year deal to prove, okay, no, he is as good as we believe and we think he is. And that 2-year contract platformed him to the Chicago deal, which
you got done before his bachelor party,
that was
which we
another-
really appreciate.
Yeah, that was
You
good
got it done
thing.
We
before-
had some fun.
But that was another story in itself because the Saints didn't want to come up at all from that 2-year deal.
I was look.
I'll never forget. Remember the conversation
I was
we had?
so
He kept saying, "Rich,
frustrated.
you got to go back one more time. You got to go back one more time."
All right, let me put this out there. When we signed that deal in Chicago, it was a lot of, it was a lot of money. Like, let's just put it out there. It was a lot of money, but I wasn't as happy as I wanted to be because it was like, damn, like I did everything I could, and they still didn't want to make that investment in me. But you know what? I mean, that's just life. And sometimes you got to go and, nothing's wrong with change. It was tough to kind of get through it, but I think I'm a better person because of it. I definitely had some ups and downs in my career since I did leave, but we did end up going back to Chicago. I think you worked out 6 deals for me?
6 deals, 6 contracts. Yeah. And every step of the way, he was so great because we educated the heck out of him. And that's what it took to get these deals done. Like, he did his part on the field, taking care of his body off the field, and then we, it was easy for us to go in and go, yeah, he should get this, and this is why.
Right. So. That's awesome. I see your buddy Leo sitting over there.
That's my partner in crime over there.
Partner in crime. Tell us a little about what you guys are doing now.
So I had the distinct pleasure, obviously, working with Jermon and a lot of guys over my 22-year career. And I transitioned about 5 years ago. I still represent a handful of guys in the NFL, but Leo and I have been friends for a long time, and Leo and I had a vision, and really he was the figurehead behind it of really helping players in life after football. So I'm a partner at a firm called Verdant's Capital Advisors. Our corporate office is here in Baltimore. We have an office in Old Town, and we have a presence in LA. And our goal at Verdant's is to really educate and inspire our clients, whether they're business owners, entertainers, sports figures, to get to the next level with unobstructed, pure advice. And we put this vision together to really help sports and entertainment clients because there's just so many people out there that are just not doing right by this.
Well, we're just not very knowledgeable, Right. I mean, especially as a football player or any other entertainer, your focus is on the task at hand. You want to be the best athlete, the best player you can be. If you're entertaining, you want to be the most entertaining person you can be. You're trying to work on your craft. So when it comes to your financials, sometimes you're just putting them in the hands of somebody else, and that's how, your money ends up coming up short, or, you get yourself in some bad investments. So, when I did go over and convert over to the Verdant's team, they really sat me down and just let me ask whatever kind of questions I needed to. So that was, that was big for us. That was big for me. And, I'm getting better in that. And, and that's the thing about, me and Rich. We've had a relationship since before I got drafted, all the way through those processes. So he's kind of seen me in my best and worst throughout my career. So it's kind of good, to have somebody that you trust. So,
and
I appreciate you.
And for me, it was the word agent has such a negative connotation that I needed, the word advisor to me just meant more. And I know titles don't mean anything really, but at the end of the day, I always told him, I said, I want to be one of your trusted advisors for life. And in this role that I'm in now, I'm able to do that. So we're excited. We have a lot of team members from Verdant's here. We support the Visualize and Rise Foundation. We're happy to do it.
Yes, sir.
We will continue to do it. I think what Jermon and his family are doing off the field is amazing. And we believe. And Wake Forest shout out. Wake Forest should be in the top 25.
Leo's telling us to shout out 5. Leo, I got a question for you. We went on Verdant's website to look up some stuff on Rich. And Rich has a section where they ask him questions. One of the questions was, what would you be if you weren't a financial advisor? Do you know what his answer was? Jermon, we were laughing about this last night. Come on. R&B artist. R&B artist. This guy right here. This guy, R&B
Somebody,
artist.
he must have been really feeling himself.
He didn't say popular.
No, man, R&B artist, man. I'll be the next Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
dog.
my God. Timberfake.
Justin Timberfake.
Come on.
I'm just messing.
All right, so you did play on the 91 team. Let's see if you remember
Yes,
some
Penn
things
State
about
representing
Penn
Maryland.
State.
Maryland who? Oh, okay.
You guys were 11-2 that year. Do you remember who played in the bowl game?
I did pick Penn State, too.
Yes, so we played Tennessee in the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay, that's correct.
And
so people out there listening.
let me remember who the quarterback was. Heath Schuler, I believe.
So I'm going to say yes because we don't have that in front of us.
I think it was. Yep.
Sure,
And they were beating the crap out of us at halftime. And you asked me, it's like, what was interesting about, like, literally, their players stayed out. They didn't have a curfew. And like Coach Paterno was like, by Wednesday, we were in 11 o'clock. They had no curfew, and by halftime, they were gassed. And we rolled them up in the second half.
There you go.
That's a
Great
great story,
experience.
man.
Great
Hey, that's a lifelong memory you'll never forget. I have a few of those, but we'll be here all day if I have to sit back and talk about that.
You lost 2 games that year. Do you remember who they were to?
I'm going to say we lost to USC.
Yes, sir. 21-10
That was
at the Rose Bowl.
That was at the Rose Bowl. Junior Seau was on that team.
Okay.
He was a beast. And then we lost to.
It's where Jermon currently lives. You don't know where he lives?
We lost to Miami. Yeah, we lost. That's right. We lost to them at home too. Oh no, that was at Miami.
In the Orange
That
Bowl.
was in the Orange Bowl.
26.
That's right.
That's my
Tony Sack.
stat
Sorry,
man.
Tony, I'm gonna call you out. He had 7 yards in front of him. It was like 4th and 2. He could have ran for a touchdown. He threw it to Terry Smith, the back of the end zone, went out.
So it shows you 25 years removed. There's still some memories up in there.
Yeah, you always gonna remember the bad stuff.
Well, the craziest thing about the Orange Bowl is they served alcohol in there.
There you go.
So their fans, their kids, they were nuts.
Is that why you guys lost?
Maybe.
Wasn't Kerry Collins on that team? I'm just kidding.
No, it was Tony Sack, man.
Was it?
Pride of Delran High School.
Yeah.
That's
right.
a good memory.
There you go. Not too bad. So we do a segment here called Best and Worst. We're at the Ravens-Browns game today, so Jermon's going to tell us his best and worst memories from each team. But first, Rich, let's jump into your best and worst. Jermon's career. Give us some highlights on what the best memories were and what the worst were.
Okay, so I think the best memory. There's a lot. We have a lot of good memories. I will say that. But the best
We've
memory,
had a lot of good times.
I'm talking about on the field.
on the field. Best memory is
We have some good memories off the field.
Yes, we have. We don't want to get into that though. This is a family show, right?
Yeah. We're trying to be. We're trying to
we have
cater
to
to
get Leo
all
on for those
audiences.
Yeah.
One line and you're messing up our demographic.
I would say best memories definitely spending time in Miami and on the field for Jermon winning the Super Bowl.
That was awesome.
I mean, I think that was just the whole family was there. The nights we had out for dinners, and I think that was a great.
A lot of these people that are here today
Yes.
made that trip. And most of them didn't fly. They drove down from King George, Virginia. It was probably about a 17-hour drive. They came down and flooded the hotels that we were staying in, and they came down to support. Man,
So
and
that
we
was
brought
like
thing
the
home.
best memory on the field and winning. But I would tell you that the Pro Bowl trip.
Oh man, that's back when the Pro Bowl was the Pro Bowl
Man.
in Hawaii, where we went out to practice and Jared Allen was in flip flops.
Yeah, those trips.
Yeah, those were
are special trips.
You know, a lot of people complain about the Pro Bowl. We're going to get into this. A lot of people have complained about the Pro Bowl there, but man, it's like, how do you want us to go out here and play as hard as we can when we're sitting out at the pool at about 12 o'clock eating chicken wings and having a good time?
Having a few cocktails.
Yeah, a few. Yeah, just a few.
Just a few, man.
Just a few.
All right. Worst?
Oh, without a doubt, Jermon trying to chase some dude down and pull his hamstring.
I just posted it on my Instagram. You don't know. You don't understand the amount of emotions I had from when I pulled it until when I got on the sideline. I hope nobody has that film anywhere.
I'll never forget. I was watching that game, and the interception happens, and I'm looking. I was sitting there with Noel, who works with us, and I'm like, "Is that Jermon?" And he's running. I'm like, "Oh,
Hold on. Did I look fast? Did I look fast for a second?
Maybe."
I felt fast. In my head, I was like,
Well, I can tell you this: you didn't look like you did when you were a rookie running in your pro
man,
day.
look, that's what I thought. It was like in that moment, I was like, I chased people down before. Let's do it again.
So you know when you pull a hamstring, for the folks out there that have ever done this, it's like you get shot in the back of the leg.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I saw him come up limp. I was like, "Oh man!"
Yeah, that sniper got me. That was up in in Bank of America Stadium somewhere.
No, so that was probably my worst.
All right.
That's fair.
Well, with that, we'll leave right into you, Jermon.
Okay.
Best and worst. We're going to start with Cleveland. Not too many good memories there, huh? But we'll start with the best.
We're going to start with the best. I'm going to have to go with Chicago at Cleveland in 2003. That was actually the game where Jay Cutler got hurt that year at Lambeau Field. He made this start in December when we came to Cleveland Stadium. What's Cleveland Stadium called?
That I do not know. Dog Pound.
I thought you said the mistake on the link. Let's go.
Dog Pound.
Oh, the dog pound. Well, we were in Cleveland's home, and that was Jay Cutler's first game back, and the game was pretty rocky. It got off to a rocky start. It was we had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 that was returned for a touchdown, a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. But the gunslinger Jay Cutler, he ended up getting us back on track and finding Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, and we had I think a pick 6 on our side, so we were able to come back with the win. So I have to say that's my best memory playing against Cleveland.
Oh, there you go. You like that one, Rich?
I do like that.
All right, let's go to worst.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to take you back to Mercedes-Benz Superdome. 2010 season after we won the Super Bowl the previous year.
Defending champs.
Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure. Everybody's trying to repeat, two-peat, or whatever they call it. And that wasn't our best outing. We lost that game 30-17. They came to our house and we just lost. We had 4 turnovers, 2 pick sixes that we couldn't get. We just couldn't come back from that. And we actually were kind of in the game, and then they had 4th down on their side of the field, and they ran a fake punt, literally right up the middle. It parted like the Red Sea. The punter took off for 68 yards. It was brutal. We threw the ball like almost 60 times. So that has to be my worst memory because...
One of those games you kind of check off as a W before you play it?
Well, we looked at it, was like, we should probably go ahead and that should be a dub. But look what happened.
All right,
We
so
lost.
I'm going to throw you guys for a loop here. I know this is your show, but I'm going to take over right now.
Okay.
So, Jermon, I want to know your worst memory of Meehan in college.
Oh, how many? I mean, how much time do we have?
We're going to need to censor this.
I should have thought about this. I don't
College?
know.
There's so many you have to go through.
I'm going to tell you what.
Go through the Rolodex.
One of my favorite, it's pretty bad for him, but it's funny for us because the last game of the season, what year was that when you had that infinity?
Oh, my God. Our last road game, we were playing at Richmond.
Did we win that game?
We did.
We did. We won that game.
We needed to win that game and the next one to get
Tim
to the playoffs.
Hightower in the crew, I believe.
Tim Hightower.
Yeah.
Shout out. And we park in the players' lot like we always do. Go to the game, we win, we're on our way back.
Feeling good about ourselves.
Feeling good. We're about to go party.
Yeah, straight
I'm
up.
like, I know I parked in this lot. I go to the spot, it's not there. I said, fuck, maybe. Sorry for all the kids out there. maybe I parked up top. Maybe I parked up top. I walk up top. Here he comes in his little Ford Explorer. Where you headed? I was like, I can't find my car. You don't know where you park? You don't know where you park. Go up top, it's not there. So I said, man, I bet somebody took it. So we went to the girl I was dating at the time's house. Car wasn't even there. We had to call the police, but the freaking car was stolen while we were going.
And so every time we see that style of Infinity, it was a cream-colored
It was a
Infinity.
J30. If you see it out there,
J30.
if you see it out there, tag at Bush and Mee Show.
We definitely call the
So we
cops
can
every time
come
we see
claim
one.
Use a second whip.
Nice.
Well,
All right,
yeah.
so give me your best memory of Jermon in college.
Oh man, you're putting us on the spot here.
Come on, man.
Best memory. Well, it's best for him, but it's probably worse. We were at a bar one time. We were single, and there was an attractive young lady over there. Sorry for my fiance sitting here.
Stop.
But
Stop.
Jermon
Halt,
said, me.
halt.
She keeps looking at you.
Oh, I'm gassing them.
And I'm like, oh my God, is she? Me? Look at me. So
Little,
he's
you
like,
weren't little.
Tall
I was
on
little
me.
back then. Man, if you don't go talk to her, man, I swear, she keeps looking over. She keeps looking. I'm like, all right, fine. Pumping me up.
Yeah, I'm gassing. I'm
Little
gassing.
push-ups in my head. I walk over. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, looks at me, doesn't even say anything.
I said, please.
I walked back. I said, he
Walk
said she
on.
was looking at me. He said, she must have some lion eyes.
I love it.
Good time.
Yeah, see, there you have it. Now I'll give the show back to you guys.
Back to
Thank
us
you.
now.
Yes.
So we can stay in our relationship. Let's start with worst in Baltimore. Before we go into best, we're going to flip it
Wow.
up.
Okay,
Worst.
yeah, I'm going to lump 2 games into this one, and they're both when I was with the Miami Dolphins. We came here in 2016 and 2017. And if I can do this math real quick, I'm just going to lump it all together. We in those 2 games, if you combine the Ravens score and the Dolphins score, it was 78-6. We lost both games.
Ouch.
And one of those games was Thursday Night Football, where Kiko tried to take Joe Flacco's head off.
Was here.
So the Baltimore
We were here.
Ravens did not, and their fans did not appreciate that. But yeah, that has to be my worst. I haven't had too many great memories here at M&T Bank Stadium, but I think we're about to get into it.
Now this next one I have a feeling it's going to be, it's your best. But it's the last time you were supposed to play here in Baltimore when tragedy struck the family.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about that and how it became your best.
Well, you know, my wife and I, we lost a child. It was our 3rd child. We lost her October 11th. Well, she was born October 11th. She passed away on October 18th. And, our family was going through some things. But I took a couple weeks off. I had a great organization. And they just let me take as much time as we wanted. And I did not take the trip to Baltimore, but that was a very important game for us. But me and my family, we were at home. Eyes were glued to the TV during pregame until the postgame show. And My best? I mean, look, the Saints came up here, man, and we won this game. These boys won the game. They came out here and they played their behinds off. And that was the game where Michael Thomas caught the game-winning touchdown. And what's so unique about this ball I have here, Mike T, I'm a flex for you, one dog, because I appreciate you. But this is the actual game-winning ball. He presented this to my son in memory of my daughter, Jordan Lynn Bushrod, Saints over the Ravens 24-23 on October 21st. So I had to just bring a little prop just to show you guys, how special this means to me. So shout out to my dog, shout out to the Saints. And that has to be my best memory because I was a part of the team, but I wasn't with the team. So they held it down for me. And another thing that was kind of crazy in that game
I was going to get into that, but go.
Justin Tucker.
Doesn't miss many extra points. Any extra points.
Yeah, extra point. And it was a chip. That's easy. That's nothing for him. And when he kicked that ball, it kind of started out in the middle. But, man, if this I don't know if it was some kind of higher power, but that ball just kind of sailed to the right. And the Saints. Huh?
Afterwards, his face was looking at it like.
He was in shock, like he couldn't believe he missed it. But you know what, Mr. Tucker, if you are looking at this, if you do look at this, it was just bigger than that. It was bigger than you guys. We needed that, and I think the Lord gave that to us. And I think my baby girl was up there, making sure that we needed that extra smile that day. So Ravens fans, I hope you don't take it too bad that I am talking about that game, but you know what? It's all good. We came back, and that's my best.
All right, Rich. Well, we thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Listen, anybody out there, NFL teams, you want a left tackle for like $4.5, $5 million? Give us a ring.
Holla at your boy.
Give him a ring.
1, 2, and 3. I can't do it, baby.
We'll let him to you for a couple games.
Yeah. There you go. A couple weeks. We're going to be right back with Bond Street Social.
Appreciate you fellas, man.
Of course. Bond Street Social is going to be on next after this break.
Welcome back to the Bush and Mee Show. We have another special guest. It's a lot of love out here at M&T Bank Stadium today. Why don't you take it over, Mr. Mee?
We have Shane Connors from one of my favorite spots in Baltimore, Fells Point, Bond Street Social, here with us today. Shane, why don't you tell us a little bit about Bond Street and what you brought for us?
First of all, thanks for having me, guys. It's kind of an honor to share the table with a couple Tigers.
Yes, sir.
Some fellow Tigers. So Bond Street and Fellas. So we kind of consider ourselves more of an upscale, casual dining experience. So pretty much what we mean by that is you can get the service of like a white tablecloth and like the experience of a white tablecloth and the atmosphere of a white tablecloth, but more of a social scene. We're more party style, we're more fun, we're more like shareable, all of these kinds of things.
So we can turn up a little bit at Bond Street.
Of course.
I like that. So you can be classy.
Yeah, like you can come get that food, you can come get that experience and that level of service, but we're more fun than that. We have that level of like just social.
Yeah, you gotta have levels to this thing. You gotta be able to cater to so many people. So that's why I like Bond Street. I've definitely been in there a couple times after hours.
Yeah, after hours.
Can't remember a bad time I had there.
No.
What's your favorite thing on the menu, though? Tell us about that. If we are going there for just dinner.
If you're going there just for dinner, we have staples. So like something that's been around for the longest time is not going anywhere. Is the chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles.
Hold on, where your bag at? You don't got no chicken and waffles with you?
No, today I brought you some more football favorites.
I'm not mad at
We do
that.
some football specials on Sundays, so I brought you some football favorites. I got some chili and some ribs for you guys to try
Nice.
today.
Okay.
But some of my favorite food items, I mean, obviously the chicken and waffles, killer, always going to be there, never going anywhere.
Okay.
We do a killer brunch too on the weekends. It's awesome place to tailgate, pregame, before the tailgate, before the Ravens game. Crab cake Benedict on our brunch menu, incredible.
Do I need reservations for that brunch?
You don't need reservations. It's a good idea though. It's a good idea to make sure you get your table, but you don't need reservations.
Make sure I get your contact. I'm a late
Of course, I'll
planner.
leave my card. Of course.
Add 30 minutes to whatever his reservation.
Yeah. Look, if I say I'm gonna be there at 12,
Late.
it's probably gonna be around 12,
We
20,
started a little
12,
late
30.
today.
But don't hold it against me. I try to be the best person I can be, but it is what
Absolutely
it
not. I would
is.
never hold that against you.
Thank you.
Now
thank you.
I know you guys host parties because I had my 33rd birthday there,
It was
and
a hell of a night.
it was a rager. But what can people do if they're hosting a party or something? How do they get in contact? How do they book something?
Yeah, so we have an event coordinator at Bond Street. Her name's Jackie, but you can call the number. She answers the phone Monday through Friday, or you can just reach out to events@bondstreetsocial.com for any party inquiries. But that was the whole idea behind Bond Street. When we built it out 8 years ago this November, the idea was to have your party there, to be the birthday spot, to be the wedding spot, to be that destination. We have a private party room in the back, which can hold a ton of people. It has access to a private patio as well. So it's a cool spot to have a party. You know, can't say too many bad things about my own restaurant, but it's fun. Like, everybody loves it.
Of course. We're going to try this food.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can't just sit here and just...
What do you want to start with?
This chili sitting here in front of my face. I got to
chili.
try.
Start with the chili.
Get in there.
While we're indulging, so there's no dead air time, why don't you tell us what nights, do you have any special nights, any ladies' nights, any Saturdays maybe you're good to go?
And I'm going to step away from the mic because I don't want you here. I don't want everybody to hear me just getting down on this.
Yeah,
really
so no ladies' nights, but on Fridays and Saturdays, come 10 o'clock, we turn the lights down a little bit, turn the music up high, and get back to that party style of things. How is it?
You guys just keep talking.
Speechless.
I'm going to keep eating.
Yeah.
You guys keep talking.
This chili is great.
These are all available on our brunch menu too. And Saturdays we do a DJ brunch, so it's kind of more of upbeat, kind of appeals to that younger professional crowd.
It's got a kick to it. It's a front end heat, but also follows through a little bit.
You don't really get the kick at the beginning. You kind of get it at the end.
Lingers, yeah.
It's a good taste, a good flavor. It's you got some vegetables and some meat in here. I like it. What did they say on the food network? Good consistency.
What would you rate it at?
I'll give it a 10.
Rookie score.
A beeping 10. I can't say the real word because we want everybody to listen to this show, the Bush and Mee Show.
Give it a
As you can
10.
see on these shirts.
I'm jumping in here. What is this we have?
It's a maple ribs.
Maple ribs.
Yeah.
Is this available on the brunch menu?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
And on the dinner menu as well.
Oh my god. That falls right off the bone.
Falls right off the bone,
man.
right?
Oh man, I can pull it off
And
the
this made it
bone.
all the way from Fells.
Oh man, it's still hot. Kind of carry in case you got.
It's hot out here, so we had no worries. No
That is
issues keeping it
delicious.
warm.
You can taste the maple. You can really taste the maple.
That's good stuff.
I'm gonna go with 8.7 on these.
8.7 on the ribs.
One of my
You didn't-
favorites.
You didn't
No.
grade the chili.
I can't give it a 10. I gotta give my pops ribs a 10. But look, that's a strong 9, buddy. They good. Look,
Good. You keep giving rookie scores. Didn't you ever watch what's his name?
Dave Courtney?
Dave Portnoy.
Oh, that's-
Dave Portnoy out there. We're coming at you.
if I don't have to work to take the meat off the bone, then you're already at a 7 or 8.
Somebody's
Then
got
the
to work
taste
to
is
clean
gonna
up
get you
that
another
mess.
level. And since you're here with us, I gotta give you another one. I love it, man.
Somebody's
I
got to
love
work
it.
to clean up that mess you're making.
It's all good.
Delicious.
Somebody gonna clean it up.
Now, where's you guys have a website? People
Yep,
can go check you
yep.
out.
BondStreetSocial.com. We have a mobile version as well, so you can pull it up on your phone. Easy, it's simple. Try to make it as simple as possible for everybody to come enjoy Bond Street.
Social media.
Yep. So you can follow us at Bond Street Social on Instagram, Facebook, obviously Bond Street Social on Facebook as well, and Twitter too. So we have a Twitter account as well, Bond Street Social.
There you go.
Keep it simple.
Jump on social media. Book your party because I had my birthday party there and it was amazing. Family, friends, everybody. Room holds a good 100 people.
Yeah, easily.
Easy. Get the ribs, get the chili.
And I'm getting the chicken and waffles
Don't
as
fight
soon as I
Lamar.
get
He's
there.
gonna order everything on the menu.
Yeah. Why you do this?
Shane, thanks for coming out
Yeah,
today.
it's my
seriously,
pleasure,
thank
guys.
We'll be back after this.
Welcome back to the Bush and Mee Show. We have another special guest, and this guy is special to me because he is family. We have my guy here, now Washington Wizard,
Close to
by
home.
way of Cortland High School, Montrose Christian, Justin Anderson.
Welcome aboard, Justin.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here in the Bush and Mee Show, man.
There you go. Bush and Me.
Yes, sir.
So you grew up in Virginia, played at Montrose Christian. You attended Virginia, but you originally committed to Maryland. Tell us what happened with that whole process.
Yeah, that was actually an interesting one. It was crazy because I was at Montrose Christian. Gravis Vasquez was alum.
Okay.
Gravis was a passionate, fiery guy like myself. So I remember going to a practice and watching Gary and Gravis kind of just push each other, competing, yelling back and forth, let's go, And I was like, that's the relationship that I want with, my coach in college. And so Gary calls me maybe 24 hours before he retires. And he says, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to coach you. I wanted to be able to coach you, but I'm stepping down. I'm going to go into a new lane, and he ended up going into broadcast, and he said, I wish I got the chance to coach you, but you'll be just fine regardless, wherever you choose. He said, if you need any help along the way, just let me know. And shortly after, I ended up decommitting because he did such a phenomenal job recruiting me. I ended up decommitting and going down to Charlottesville and playing for legendary Tony Bennett, national champions.
Was that a tough decision for you to make, or ultimately I think you have to be happy because you had a lot of success at UVA? But let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's different. A lot of guys don't ever have to go through that. A lot of guys, like I didn't have to transfer. Some guys don't have to go through the decommitting process, and it was nerve-wracking because I didn't know. When I decommit, am I losing something? Am I losing interest from a lot of other schools because I chose this one school already? Definitely. So when you open up that process, you open up your commitment, it's actually interesting to see the teams who come back around who want to re-recruit you, and it gives you a lot of confidence. Being a young kid in high school, I was just a junior. So I got 1 year. I got my senior year to go on my official visits again and open it up again. So it was actually unique, but it was really fun. It was a good experience.
Nice.
So you went to Virginia.
Yep.
Defending national champs. Stayed there for 3 years, correct?
I stayed for 3, yep.
Left a little early. Tell us about your decision. How hard was that, and what impacted that?
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, you want to stay in college for all 4 years, man. You want to get that full college experience. The biggest thing for me going to Virginia, obviously, was being a Virginia kid. I wanted to stay close to home, obviously, with Maryland as well. I wanted my family to be able to come to some games, be able to put a show on for the area. But when I got to Virginia, I had one goal in mind, and that was to try to become a pro. And when I got to my third year, I remember spending time with Jermon going into my junior year. You remember that?
Oh, yeah,
I came out to Chicago, and I was like, dang, is this what it's like to be a pro? Jessica was making eggs every morning. The babies were just chilling. The nanny was taking care of everything. It was a situation where I was like, dang.
Hashtag nanny life.
You know what I mean? So it was like cool because we would wake up every morning, breakfast was ready, and we did our lift first, and we did our speed and conditioning, and then he took me over to my shooting coach, who I still have a relationship with to this day, and I got working from a shooting perspective, and I came back and shot 45% from three that year in college.
I love that too.
So I remember that too.
Yeah, because you came up here to stay. What was it? You stayed for a little while, and it was kind of crazy because we didn't even know that guy was there. We were just training out. We were just training at a spot there in Illinois, and the guy who owned the gym that we were training at was like, "Hey, you should go check out this shooting coach, literally right down the street from us." And we walked down there, and come to find out, dude had helped a lot of people work on their craft. And Justin, once he got introduced to him, he was in there every other day with him or every day with him, and he came back and he had his greatest year, and he had his best college year, definitely shooting wise. You got a little banged up that year.
Yep.
I know that had to be frustrating for you because you would have been a higher first-round draft pick. So can you just talk about, just having so much success and then kind of, being humbled or I guess having it taken away from you, but then also being able to finish?
Yeah, I mean, it's always sometimes you got to try to find a positive in every situation. I mean, you being 13 years, you've seen it all. I'm still baffled how the Ravens let a guy slip from 2 exits away.
For sure.
But it's a situation where I had to try to find beauty in that struggle. And I broke my pinky against Louisville. I remember the play exactly. I still try to play through it. I just couldn't do it. I remember trying to grab the ball, and the coach said, "You good?" I said, "I'm good. Let me rock." And I tried to grip the ball, and that thing was not holding on. So I was like, "Yeah, let me go out." Got X-rays. I broke it in 5 places. And at that moment, I had a decision to make. I had to make a decision if I wanted to finish my college career at UVA or if I wanted to go professional. And one person in my life who's a dear friend of mine, James Michael Magadoo, I learned from his story and talking to him and being able to get close to him over the course of the years. A lot of people talk about how he could have left as a freshman and was able to get drafted high and kill in the NBA. And I took it as an opportunity where if the league was, if they were calling, then I needed to answer. I didn't want to waste no time doing that.
Well, you go to school to to hopefully get a career, and now this is your career. You had an opportunity. You have to take advantage of that opportunity. So when draft night was upon you, we were at Brock's in Fredericksburg. You decided to have your draft party back home. And I think that's the way it should be. I think family and friends are our foundation. Just talk to me about your emotions, just seeing the excitement on people's face because of you.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. You put it that way. Obviously, that was our dream. I mean,
Sure.
every time we would see each other, we wanted to play sports. I mean,
Sure.
whatever it was, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, whatever it was. you just wanted to play sports. And that just showed me that my love for the game was always very unique, and I wanted to try to go as far as I could. So on that night in particular, it was special because everything kind of finally came to fruition. It wasn't the end all, it wasn't the end goal, but everything finally came to fruition. And just being able to be around the people who watched the process and to still be able to connect with people and they say, I remember that night.
Yeah.
It's something that's always going to be near, dear, and special to me. So being at home was something that I wanted to do. I had the opportunity to go and be a part of the green room. But for me, I said, if I can only bring 3 people, why would I do that when I can have, I think it was like 60 people that ended up showing up. Why wouldn't I do that in front of my hometown to give the next man hope or one of the next youngins in the area hope to try to aspire to be just like me or if not better?
Right. So, when you do get drafted, all that is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to get into the door. But once you get drafted, you have to prove yourself every single day.
Oh, man.
Not just to your teammates, not just to your coaches, but you got to prove yourself to the front office.
Right.
Now you have an opportunity to play close to home. What does that mean to you just going forward? Because you've completed 4 years, correct?
Yep.
You've been on 3 teams.
Yep.
So now this
Wait,
is your fourth team.
who were you drafted by? What pick were you? What round?
21st pick in 2015 to the Dallas Mavericks.
There you go.
That was an unbelievable experience, unbelievable opportunity. Mark Cuban and those guys, Dirk Nowitzki, those guys welcomed me with open arms. A year and a half into my career, I was traded. I don't know if you guys remember that DeAndre Jordan situation. So we were trying to get DeAndre Jordan, and because we didn't get DeAndre, apparently they held him on lockdown in LA, Doc and those guys. We tried to get the next best thing. And so I thought, all right, we're about to get the next best thing. Next thing you know, I got traded heads up for Nerlens Noel, who was supposed to be that next best thing. And I don't think that ended up working out, so I wish I was still in Dallas. But, I ended up going to Philly and being able to be. It worked out great. Got to go to the playoffs, and I was there for a year and a half. Got traded then from Philly to Atlanta to be under Lloyd Pierce, who was last year was his first year as a head coach. Being able to help that young core, that was a fun group to be a part of. Trae Young kind of came into his own. John Collins, a few names to mention. And then now getting this opportunity, like you said, Jermon, to just come out here and be close to home, I needed it. From bouncing around from city to city, being a young kid from Montrose, Virginia, it's very unique.
Born and raised, baby, Montrose, Virginia.
Homegrown, you know what I mean? So, being in these major cities, being in these big cities, parents are far away, thank God for FaceTime. At some point I needed to just be around the fam, and I'm glad that I just got this opportunity that I can be able to harp on, jump all over. And this free agency summer was crazy for the big market guys, but it was also crazy for guys in my position when that water well started to dry up a little bit. And I'm just glad that I was gracious enough to be able to get the opportunity. Tommy Shepard, Washington Wizards, those guys believe in me, and now it's time to go and try to take this thing to the next level.
We've had our fair share of conversations about it. I'm excited about where you are, where you're going. But, we're going to wrap this Bush and Mee Show up. Justin, thank you for being here. This means a lot to me. This is family. So I'll always be following you. I'm excited about your journey. Man, let's get after it. You know what it is. We got to get after it and put your best foot forward, because guess what? You're going to do everything you can, bro. You're going to do everything you can, and you got to be happy with the effort you put out every single day. So
those you guys in the local area, go check them out. Washington Wizards. Was it at Justin Anderson 1?
Yep, at Justin Anderson 1.
And at Bush and Mee Show, of course. Follow that. Justin, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We're back here on the Bush and Mee Show, still here at M&T Bank Stadium for the Ravens game. A short trip for most of us here tailgating. But we'd like to thank Mr. Jermon Bushrod for coming up here.
Hey, man.
Bush, thanks for joining us.
The Bush. Look.
It's a long flight for you, I know.
He's local, but I can be anywhere. I can hop on a flight. I can hop on a flight tonight.
You hear that?
I
you
can
book him for your parties.
I can be where you need me to be. We will be wherever we need to be to get the Bush and Mee Show off the ground. See, that's a couple bars for you. Don't even trip.
Now we're freestyle.
All
right, let's jump into these games. Wrap it up for the people.
For sure.
The first game, the game we're attending right now, Ravens-Browns. How do you think it's going to play out? And I'll follow up.
Let me see. I think the Ravens take this game. I like Lamar Jackson. I love what he's doing. My dog Deuce won. Mark Ingram, I think he's going to have another big game. They got some explosive receivers.
Mark Ingram reference.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dance off number 2 coming.
But look, I love their defense as well. So I'm just going to give the upper hand to the Ravens. These guys are here at home, so I got to go Ravens over the Browns.
I'm going to follow suit, sort of. I think it's a low-scoring, close game, defensively highlighted. I'm not fully on board with Rex Ryan saying that Baker Mayfield is overrated as hell, like he said earlier this week. Not going to jump on that. I think Baker's a good player. I'm going to go with the Ravens in a low-scoring game, and the spread is 6.5 on this one. I don't think they cover it. I think it's more of a 2017 type game. Ravens pull it off. Going with the Ravens, but if you're taking points out there, go with the Browns.
Okay.
Game of the week. We got the Saints hosting the Cowboys.
Is Teddy ready?
Question of the week.
Teddy ready?
Teddy ready?
Is Teddy ready?
He did it in Seattle. Apologies.
Yeah.
He went into Seattle, won in a very hard place to play. Now they're hosting Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. What do you see happening?
I think the New Orleans Saints, I think the whole team rallies around Teddy just like they did in Seattle. You know, you got to feel good about the performance that they put out there. They did have a couple things go their way, especially with the punt return for a touchdown. You know, that's hard. That's hard for an opposing team to come back from. You know, that's those 7 points are not really accounted for. So when you get that kind of action out of a team, it's hard to come back. It's definitely an uphill battle, and Seattle was pretty much fighting from the beginning of the game. Actually, Seattle played kind of timid to me. You would think Seattle would have. You would have think the Saints would have came out like Seattle did. They weren't very aggressive until the second half. So it kind of seems like the Saints had the upper hand on them from the jump. I felt good about it when I was watching it. I liked the way Teddy managed the game. Alvin Kamara, Mike T, they all rallied around. But you know, one thing I do love about the New Orleans Saints is that defense. Cam Jordan, everything starts with him up front. They got a they got a lot of good guys up front. I love Demario Davis might be my favorite linebacker in the NFL right now. He's all over the field. He's
strong.
Yeah, he's physical. He gets after it, man. I appreciate the way that he approaches the game. I definitely have to go Saints over Cowboys. I don't see it being a blowout. I see it maybe being a win by a field goal or so. It's definitely going to be a tight game.
I think it'll be close. I think an undervalued part here. Drew Brees not on the field, but I think he's still there in Teddy's ear. I think he's coaching him, the coach off the field now.
Well, he wasn't there for the Seattle game because he was in L.A. doing his rehab.
Okay.
He will be there from what I've seen. You know, I'm all over. You know, I'm definitely following the Saints' social media. So Drew will be in the Superdome tonight. He will pretty much be a Sean Payton tag along with his.
Teddy's here to help Teddy get ready.
For sure.
Motto of the week.
Teddy will be ready.
Hashtag Teddy's ready.
Teddy's ready.
So I'm going Saints as well. Yes. I'm going to go about in between a field goal and a touchdown. Spread here 2.5. So take the Saints. Take the points if you want it. I think they cover. If it goes up to 3, definitely lock it in.
Yes.
Upset of the week. We released this on our video, but let's let the world know where we're going now. Jermon, you want to go first?
I will. I'm going to go with, I'm going to stay in the NFC South, and I want to say that the Carolina Panthers are going to shock the Houston Texans in Houston today. I just think that's the upset of the week. The quarterback there, he didn't play bad when he filled in for Cam last week. He got the ball where he needed. Actually, how many touchdowns did he throw?
I believe he threw 4.
He threw 4. I don't know if he
was
throws
against Arizona, but
it was.
I'm with you on this one. I think Carolina's a strong team. If McCaffrey, they'll go in there.
If he can throw a couple, if he can manage the game and not turn the ball over, get the ball, in the end zone through the air, Christian McCaffrey, feed your workhorse. You know, they do have a solid defense led by Luke Kuechly. So I'm going to have to stay in the NFC South. I'm going to take the Panthers over the Texans in Houston.
You heard it here first, Panthers. Now, what I'm about to say is going to shock the world.
Go ahead, shock the world. Shock the world.
I told this at our production meeting last night, and everybody laughed at me. I told it earlier, everybody laughed at me.
Okay.
What are you talking about, me? That's not going to happen.
Get it out.
Buffalo is going to upset Tom Brady and the New England Patriots.
No!
Buffalo Bills 4-0, first place. Where you heard it here first. Buffalo today. Take them money line. They're going to beat them outright.
That's strong.
Tom Brady who?
That's strong.
Let's go Buffalo. That's the upset pick of the week.
I'm going to make sure that Tom Brady sees this.
Tom Brady should see this at Bush and Mee Show. Tom Brady, you're going down today.
I'm not going to lie. Buffalo isn't the easiest place to play in. We've had a little bit of success when I went up there and played Jay Ajayi. We had a 200-yard game up there. You know, Buffalo really wasn't playing for anything. We were playing for everything. We had to get into the playoffs that year. But, all right, he's taking Buffalo over the New England Patriots.
So let's recap it. Ravens. I say Browns if you're taking the points. We both went with the Saints tonight to win the game, take the points.
Teddy's ready.
Teddy is ready. Hashtag Teddy's ready. And upsets of the week, we got Carolina over Houston, Buffalo Bills over New England Patriots. One more thing here before we get off the air. As you know, I am getting married May 2nd.
What?
Coming up. Got a little present for Jermon. Show the people.
Oh, whoa. This is off script.
This is off script.
My dog. What is this? You know, I like surprises.
It's a little invite. Read it what it says to the people.
Team Meehan.
We got these going out to all the other groomsmen.
Oh, man.
But this could get a little emotional right here.
He asked me to be his groomsman. Give me a minute.
Don't cry.
Give me a
Don't
minute.
cry.
Give me a
Don't
minute.
cry.
Yes, I would be your groomsman. Give me some. Give me some.
These are going out next week.
This is I got mine first.
You got it first.
I did it first. But you know, this is Meehan's getting married. Do you know how big of a deal this is?
We'll talk about that later.
Off air.
Off air.
Because your fiance is right behind you.
He is right behind us.
But this is a long time coming. I'm not gonna try to sing. I gave you a little bit. But congratulations. Where's the wedding at?
It's gonna be in Cancun, May 2nd. Maybe we'll do a show from there.
We're definitely doing a show for there, so definitely carve out some time. Tell your fiance now, put it in the plans. We're doing the show from the beach in Cancun when this guy gets married.
There you go.
It's gonna be exciting. I'm proud of you, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Thanks, man.
What do we got in here? Hold on. I got some socks. He knows I'm definitely a sock guy.
Some beach socks.
A shot
Says Team
glass.
Meehan on it.
He knows how I
Little
get down.
umbrella.
Cinco
Shout
de
out to
Mayo.
My fiance Jamie Bauer putting it together.
And we got some
Soon to be Jamie Me.
ham. Damn, that was smooth. Look,
What else?
Oh.
Jose Cuervo.
not for the kids. Not for the kids. And we got some other stuff. It's a celebration.
There you go. Thank you guys for joining us again. Episode 2, Bush and Mee Show. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, The Bush and Mee Show. I had a lot of fun, man.
I had a great time, man. It feels good to be out here with you again, surrounded by family and friends.
Yeah. Visualize and Rise. Don't forget about that. Bond Street Social. Tessemaes. Thank you guys for joining us. Rich Rosa, Justin Anderson. We appreciate you.